When y'all reviewed the Philadelphia game, what were the things that can be improved for Cincinnati on Saturday?
Um, I think when you look at the overall game, um, our football was good. Um, our in other areas in terms of second balls, in terms of um, attentiveness in whether it's the middle third, the defensive third, even the final third, those areas can be better.
Okay. Anything in, specific about those things, or
No, just that,
okay?
just that. Yeah.
Um, I'm sure you've seen that IFAB is considering some goalkeeper rules changes about holding onto the ball and things like that. I was curious if you had any thoughts on those.
Listen, I I've not seen that. I saw a tweet this morning. Um, we need to try to implement all the rules for 90 minutes of a game, not just when we feel it's appropriate.
Okay,
So,
that's fair.
Looking ahead to Saturday in Cincinnati, Lucho Acosta always has big games against Atlanta. What makes him so dangerous?
I think his ability to find just pockets of space, gaps in between the lines. Obviously, his ability on the ball is very good to be able to either pick a final pass, be in the right spot in terms of an opportunity on goal. Um, he's a player that as you're attacking, you've got to keep an eye on and make sure you're aware of where he's at on the field, kind of at all times. Because, like I said, at any moment he could pop up in these gaps in these spaces, and he could hurt you with a pass or a shot or just linking, their back line to their front line, and before they know it, they're running at you with numbers.
What has it been like to watch Noah Cobb really develop and grow in that center back position the past couple weeks?
Yeah, I said before, obviously when you get game experience, right, when you're in these real situations, they're always going to help a player develop. Whether they're good moments, they're bad moments, they're real moments, and those types of plays only help players improve. And so I think that's certainly been the case for him and has helped him, you know, grow rather quickly. There's still obviously tons of room for improvement in terms of his growth and understanding the game, but being in these environments, it's only going to help him continue to get better and be the player we know he can be.
How difficult is it to find continuity with the international break coming so early in the season, injuries? Just how difficult for you as the captain and obviously the commander of the defensive front, just handling all of these moving parts as far as the roster?
Yeah, I mean, I think, listen, throughout a season, whether it's international windows, whether it's injuries, I've always said we believe in every guy that's in the locker room, and when those types of things pop up, whether it's the international window, whether it's injuries, whether it's rotation, whether it's the manager's decision, we believe in the guys that step on the field, and in those instances, it's no different. So we've got all the confidence in the world in anyone that steps on the field for us.
Commander of the defensive front should be your social media.
I don't know about that. Put that in the thinking box.
10 years ago today, Atlanta received Arthur Blank in Atlanta received the MLS franchise here. You were in England at the time. I was curious, was this something that had even crossed your mind that you might one day end up being here?
Listen, in soccer and in football, you never say never. You never know what's around the corner. Obviously, when you see that a franchise like Atlanta United is the city of Atlanta has been awarded a franchise, and there's going to be a team and a club here, and when you have the backing of someone like Arthur Blank in terms of his support and his backing, things are looking up. For this city, for the league in general, and so we want to continue to push those boundaries and continue to lift the bar of the league and of the sport, and I think we do that as a club and as a whole.
Last season, some supporters were giving you some stick for what they didn't like. This season, in my opinion, you're kind of having a best 11 type campaign. I was curious, just your belief, is this did you know it's going to take a bit just to be back, like you wanted to be?
Listen, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Everyone's entitled to the praise, to the criticism. It comes with what we do. I think when you look at players, it's important that players have an even mindset, and when things are great, it's probably never as great as you really think. And when things are not so great and they're bad, it's probably not as bad as you think. And the more you can have a steady mindset, a strong mentality, a belief and willingness in yourself, normally good things will happen. And that part for me has never wavered. I always believe in my ability. It's that's perfectly fine in terms of the criticism that comes with my role, my responsibility. The position I play on the field. That's part of it, and I'm okay with that. And like I said, I've been very fortunate to be able to do what I've been able to do for as long as I have. And to do that, you need to have a strong mentality because, like I said, you go through highs, you go through lows, but it's never as great as you think, and it's never as bad as you think.
I know you talked to a lot of people, did a lot of research after the injury, the Achilles injury. Was 2 years, was that kind of what people were saying, is just to kind of maybe feel like yourself before the Achilles? Was that ever? No,
listen,
okay.
Our medical staff, they did a fantastic job with myself, and I don't want to speak for him, but I would say Miles too.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think it's not just down to, of course, there's individual mistakes that come throughout a season, and you can always point at, X, Y, and Z as to why those things happen. But, it's a collective as well.
Mm-hmm.
We win together, we lose together. There's things that are being asked of individuals, of players in the group at different moments, and it's all part of it. I've got to give a shout out to big Sean De Silva. He's over there. He'll be back. We believe in him. You know what I mean? He'll be back. He's got a new hair color. Gives him more energy.
I was going to ask, but Gigi and Steen, we were told, trained yesterday. I guess it's got to be a boost, just energy, confidence for y'all to have those guys coming back too.
Yeah, listen, we want all of our guys back as quick as possible. It's not just those guys, it's everyone. The quicker we're able to get guys back, the better for them individually, but better for us as a group.
Earlier in the season, Pineda mentioned that he created a leadership team with select players on the team. I was just curious, do you feel like this has been effective in really bringing guys together and helping between players and coaches?
Yeah, I mean, I think it, when you have a locker room, right, especially different personalities, different types of individuals, you need to be able to give them platforms to speak and feel comfortable in speaking. Not everyone's going to feel comfortable speaking in front of a room full of 40 people. Sometimes it needs to be a little bit more intimate and in smaller numbers, which is fine. And so I think in that sense it's been really good in allowing guys to take more ownership of the group and ownership of the team. And when you do that, I think it pays off with on the field, not necessarily performances, but it allows guys to take more on their plate when they're on the field, and that's a good thing. So, it's been good.
Brad, I know you've been around this long enough, and you see guys like Alec and Miles come in, that you've played with before. When you look out there on the field and you kind of think back about that, do you like to bring back some memories, kind of sometime when you see former players?
Yeah, of course. You smile. You catch up after the game. You say hello. Ask how their families are. Still, you still keep in touch with them. It's obviously not the same as seeing them daily in the locker room, but you wish them well. Obviously, for those 90 minutes, I don't wish them well. Of course, I don't want anything bad to happen to them, but obviously, I want us to win and take those 3 points and move on. But it's always nice to see former teammates and have those relationships and those relationships are what make doing this so special.
Was Miles the relationship with him because he played in front of you and you guys really had each other's back? I mean,
Yeah, for sure. Obviously being, kind of the Lone Rangers from the beginning that were left, having that relationship. Obviously, Alec, him and I had a really good relationship in terms of working daily. I've always said the goalkeeping group is like a team within a team. And, so to see those guys, it'll be good. It'll be a handshake and a hug, I'm sure, before and a chat afterwards. But for those 90 minutes, it'll be all business.
Last one for me. Did the team bringing Josh in, did that give you a little extra, I'll show everybody
Nope.
kind of thing?
That comes from within.
Yeah.
It comes from within. It's part of the business. You expect these things, to be honest with you. It's, I've always said we're a club that we want to push the bar. We want to push the envelope, and you do that by signing good players in every position, and you need competition in every position. It's our job as players to go out and show that we are, able and deserving, and you need to be able to help the team in whatever way you can, and it's no different for the goalkeeping position. And so that for me, that comes from within me in terms of how I approach each day of training, each game. So good. Thanks, guys.
Salute you as commander of the defensive front.